Hello, San Francisco, and welcome once again to the Angelic Troublemakers. I'm your host, Alan Jones, and on today's program, Get Back in the Closet. I have a bone to pick with members of the LGBT community, LGBTQ community. And it's mainly because I see them doing so many things from a self righteous standpoint and intolerant, if I may use that word, and their disciples are coming up with some of the strangest things. And I just can't handle it anymore. Now, I will say that there's, I'm not trying to say once you've come out of the closet, you should go back in and hide and be a lie and whatever else, stuff like that. I'm not saying anything like that. I have a saying that's written in my book. It's either on the back cover or the front flap, I don't know. And that saying is, I'll come out of the closet when I'm finished having sex in the closet. Well, what does that mean? It means, yes, I'm a homosexual, so what? That's what it means. And I have worked with, in the past, a person on a commission committee in San Francisco, and the guy drove me crazy um, with every time he wanted to make a comment about a particular issue. He would start it off by saying, "Well, I'm just a gay man," and then go into whatever he wanted to say. And I mean, when you hear that 10 times in one meeting, it does get a little on you. But a little while ago, I heard a really sad story about a 10-year-old. This 10-year-old was murdered by his parents. And many people were making the connection that 2, 3 days prior to this kid being murdered by his own parents, uh, people said he had come out of the closet. Well, at 10 years old, I beg to differ. You don't come out of the closet when you're 10. The young boy was said to have said 3 or 4 days before he was murdered, "I like boys." And somebody is saying that's coming out of the closet. I don't know how people are so interested in people coming out of the closet that they would label this 10-year-old as one who was killed for coming out of the closet. Now, why was he murdered by his parents? Well, I didn't get that part of the story, and I, quite frankly, would not doubt one bit that it had to do with him saying he liked boys. But to say something like that and to stick it on a 10-year-old, that's not the 10-year-old's mindset. And hey, it was 51 years ago that I was 10. and, I'm, and I'm sure 10-year-olds today aren't thinking, should I come out of the closet or should I just stay in the closet? But people are so caught up into people coming out and being a part of the LGBT and stop your hiding and this and living a lie and all of that stuff, that a 10-year-old who says, I like boys, is coming out of the closet. No, he's making a statement. And so that and a few other things have really annoyed me. Over the years, I've been easily annoyed by things that the LGBT community comes up with. But the fact is, number one, I don't know when this LGBTQ thing came about. I am not an acronym. And you might as well put a prison tag on all those who identify as LGBTQ. Because when you really think of it, they're identifying with a certain portion of society that thinks a certain way, believes a certain way. And I can't go along with all of the things that they believe in. Do I believe in things like gay rights? Of course. Do I think that people should be discriminated against because of their sexual orientation? Don't be ridiculous. I believe in equality for everyone. But special privilege? No. And for people who are running around trumpeting, you know, wearing their sexuality on the outside rather than the inside, well, that may be just a preferential difference that, you know, I get that part. But a lot of the things that people are not understanding with homosexuality in general is, let me put it this way. When I told my father that I was a homosexual, he probably knew it. But he was like, oh, so well, and I still love you, and no big deal, you know. And I thought I was really saying something. I thought I was really hiding something. But I really wasn't. But then I realized 30 years I lived with shame after I told my father that I was a homosexual. Now, how can you do that? You claim you're coming out, and no one mentioned to me about the shame. I still felt shame. So, where is it that these people are not telling the whole story? Well, I'm trying to tell the whole story. I don't believe that people should be outed by, uh, you know, people who are gay. They just want to out them because somebody is hiding their secret. I don't believe any of that crap. But the fact that if you're going to help somebody, help them. Don't hide certain things from them. I am very annoyed at the fact that this city has honored Harvey Milk by putting a plaque or naming a portion of the San Francisco International Airport after Harvey Milk. Well, I can't go along with that. Why is it that all of the things that people have done to elevate this particular individual, do they hide the fact that Harvey Milk was a friend to the Reverend Jim Jones? Why do they hide the fact that if it weren't for Reverend Jim Jones and his 900 black followers, I'm not saying all 900, but many in his congregation, Harvey Milk would not have been elected supervisor of San Francisco. Then you think, well, Bill Cosby is being sent through the ringer for his drugging of women and taking advantage of them sexually. Well, it was no secret Harvey Milk did the same thing. So why are we praising Harvey Milk to the tune of putting him a plaque and honoring him, naming a portion of San Francisco International Airport after a man who took advantage of, I wasn't there, took advantage of boys who had substance problems and they were underage, 16. I think one photograph of Harvey Milk, which I am not going to bring up, him and a 15-year-old who had a relationship. Now, I myself don't really get into that age. I had my first sexual experience at age 16. So I'm not going to criticize that. And the person who I had it with was 33, 34 years old. I'm not criticizing that. I was the aggressor in the situation. I don't know about what Harvey Milk did, but I do know that he plied, based on reading, young boys with whatever habit they were into, to take advantage of them sexually. And I myself just think that that's a little bit too much. Why are we hiding that? When the city of San Francisco is trying to bring attention to those who are victims of sexual assault in the city, they're trying to make streamline people getting the help and assistance from city services when they are victims, and justice is moving at a snail's crawl. So the Board of Supervisors trying to make a position for somebody who handles this issue. And then people are getting all kinds of praise. Oh, we're moving forward. But then you're going to honor Harvey Milk. That's not, no. And will the LGBT community say anything about it? And no. They insist that Harvey Milk is their gay Gandhi. Leave him alone. Well, look at it this way. When you think of the different people that through history San Francisco has decided to dishonor, and I'm basically talking about Justin Herman Plaza, taking Justin Herman's name off the plaza, and a few other things. People are trying to get into renaming streets. Oh, they did rename one street. Phelan Avenue by City College was renamed. And I don't know what that was about, because it was the son that said something, but the street was named after the father. So we're going to take the father's name off the street. He was a mayor for something the son said. Give me a break, people. And you call yourself, standing up for, minorities. All of this stuff, the Phelan Street was named almost 100 years ago. Justin Herman 50, 60 years ago he did his crap. And so now they're getting around to taking their names off of the because they uh, found there was some issue. Well, when you really look at it, San Francisco Board of Supervisors, they don't have the courage or the backbone to reverse a decision on Harvey Milk. So they're leaving it basically up to Board of Supervisors 20, 30, and 40 years from now to say, what did they do here in San Francisco by honoring this man? When we see here, the evidence is he had an affection for young boys who had substance problems. He was friends to a man who murdered 900 blacks. Harvey Milk sent a letter to the President of the United States at the time, Jimmy Carter, praising Jim Jones 9 months before Jim Jones killed 900 black San Franciscans when he took them to Guyana. In that letter, Harvey Milk was praising Jim Jones and saying that people are attacking him for wanting to keep this 6-year-old boy, and they're trying to take the 6-year-old boy from him. Now, the story on the 6-year-old boy is complicated. The boy was biologically Jim Jones' son. However, he was a surrogate. A couple of members of the church could not have a baby. The man was whatever, and so was not able. And so they wanted a kid. And so they thought the world of Jim Jones, who was a con artist. And Jim Jones said, oh, sure, I'll knock her up. A baby was born. Jim Jones immediately gave the baby over to the couple. They raised the kid from 0 to 6 years old. And when Jim Jones wanted to go to Guyana, he wanted to take the kid, and these real parents of the 6-year-old fought it. Jim Jones won. And what did Jim Jones do with the kid? Killed him. And this is the guy we're putting on San Francisco International Airport. Now, there's other issues, but the fact that when I say go back into the closet, I'm saying that when you are going to do the deeds and promote certain things, and you want me to be a part of it, I'm going to go back into the closet. Why? Because I cannot be a party to this. I was on a panel, and the panel were people who were helping the health department here in San Francisco, and they had a advertising campaign. And in this advertising campaign, they were trying to get some people to try some new drug that people would use to prevent them or lower their chances of getting HIV. Well, the panel voted. I was part of the panel, and no, I didn't vote this way. They voted on using a 10-year-old in a Superman's outfit to promote this advertising campaign. Well, I threw up my hands, outvoted, and I that was the last they saw of me on that panel. I was trying to help get uh, certain people involved in AIDS prevention, but they were all excited about this 10-year-old boy who really looked good in a Superman's cape, and they were trying to promote superhero. You be a superhero by trying out this drug. I just couldn't deal with it. And so I took off. But I'm saying all of this, get back into the closet, because we are doing something really dangerous to young people who are trying to figure out who they are. And in everybody trying to get people to come out of the closet, there's no education, excuse me. There's people aren't doing it wisely. And so I'm saying, if you consider the fact that people who are against homosexuality, and let's just say they're your family members, they got it wrong. You don't have it wrong. So for you to come out and get acceptance from them, they're wrong. So why are you trying to get acceptance from them? Don't make any sense. I believe God. I believe in God. I believe God made everybody. I told this one friend I believe God made Adam, Eve, and Steve. And no, he didn't tell Steve and Adam to do anything. I'm just saying I believe in the creator of mankind. And the fact that homosexuality is a part of today's society, I do not believe God is tripping off of it. Will God say to a certain individual, I don't want you to fool around with anybody for a while? Yes, I believe that God will say that. And that's not only just a man and a man. I'm saying he'll do it for a man and a woman. He'll tell, abstain. And I'm sure that there's certain people who have heard God say to them, I want you, for a special purpose, and I just prefer that you don't fool around with anybody sexually. Is God against you having sexual desires? No. He's basically saying, I want your mind on something else for the moment. And so what I'm saying here is, I believe that God is not all that pleased with what people are coming out of the closet and entering into. I'm just a little nervous suggesting that somebody come out when the coast is not clear. It's happened in professional sports. Oh, they were getting all so excited. Michael Sam, he's the first openly gay football player in the NFL. Well, how long did that last? It wasn't the players that he would have been playing with. No, it was the fans. If he missed one block, the fans were going to call him a fag. They were going to throw dresses at him and, high heels, and just because fans are that cruel. And talk about childish. Some of the most childish people around are sports fans. I get the passion of sports, but some people, they just really take it way too far. And some of these athletes, they're no better when They calling people out their names just because they're mad at them, you know. So I'm saying that until the coast is clear, I recommend people stay in the closet because I'm telling you, you can come out and be disrespected, or you can just walk around with self respect. Now, look, if you want to tell the world you are homosexual or whatever, go right ahead. I'm warning you that the people who you are telling this to, if they're not going to use you, they're going to abuse you. The using and the abusing the LGBT community. They're opening their arms. They're telling you, come on in. You know, everybody should be out. Well, where's that written? Don't we all have privacy? We should. When the LGBTQ community respects my privacy, then and then only will I want to be a part of their group. But they're not into that. They just want everybody to come in and do things their way, as if there's only a one size fits all. And it's ridiculous. And I'm saying that if you have this burning desire to tell somebody, look, I'm a homosexual, this is the way I am, whatever, I'm saying be careful. Because the fact that this society is not adult enough to handle it is where I am saying don't do it. I know people are going to say, oh man, what? You know, I am not telling you to come out now that you came out of the closet to go back in just for trying to reverse what happened. I'm not, you can't unring the bell. But I surely wouldn't go around once I've announced, yeah, I'm a homosexual. I'm not announcing and running around and telling people and bragging and stuff like that about my sexuality. You know, the fact that we are saying certain things to certain people, sure, people aren't stupid. They can figure things out on their own. And as they are figuring these things out on their own, sure, they're going to have, is he gay? I think he's gay. There's going there are going to be a lot of whispers and doing all kind of this stuff. I suggest you play dumb. You know, ignore it. And when you find the one person who you want to walk down the streets with, and you know that that's the person, sure, boldly go down the street, walking hand in hand. I'm just saying that when you're thinking about coming out of the closet, think twice. Because San Francisco mainly is not ready. But I'm saying the whole world is not ready. And I cannot give better advice on homosexuality than to suggest if you want to really have peace of mind, you get a hold of God, not tell everybody else. And I will say one other thing. When I was dealing with confusing issues, I found a friend who helped me, and I shared everything with him, and he was 20 years older than me. That I say go do, but don't do it to everybody. So Until next time, get back in the closet.